Welcome to another video, ladies and gentlemen. On screen, I have, of course, Candace Owens, who has something to say about singer Ariana Grande. Now, in my personal opinion, since Ariana Grande made that song God is a Woman, or was it 5 years ago? I already thought to myself, alright, yeah, this chick is batshit crazy. Alright? In my mind, there is no way that a person like myself would ever date this woman. So coming from that mindset, it is just unbelievable to me that first of all that guys would still actually date her. Because you have to understand, with that mindset, this woman will not be subjugated by any man. For that to happen, she would have to actually publicly denounce this song and do a complete 180 from that rabid feminist stance that she has, for a person like myself to even take her seriously. Anyhow, make a long story short, there was a week ago or more something going around about her dating this guy who is the actor from SpongeBob. Right? People were coming out saying, "Oh, it might be happening," but then they say, "Oh no, it's not happening." Even the guy's wife said it's not happening. Right? So for some reason, things were being kept under lock and key. But that's Hollywood. Nobody actually knows what's going on in Hollywood. But as I said, from the time she made the song, I knew something was wrong with her. But let me not get too far ahead of myself. Let me let Candace say her piece first, because I think there are some good nuggets to be taken from a few minutes of what she said. And then I'll, drop mine here and there. So let's listen to what she has to say for more context.
He sat her down and he told her the truth. He told her that he was in a relationship with Ariana Grande, the person that she had allowed to hold her infant child as she was going through a phase of postpartum, was actually beginning a relationship herself with the actor. So that is Ariana Grande and the timeline between their relationship. This is Ariana Grande, who believes God is a woman, who says that we need feminism. Why would Ariana Grande do this to any woman? It's so despicable, it's so disgusting, and it is reeks of all of the reasons why I say that we should not follow Hollywood, we should not follow trends, and you better wake up to the fact that feminism is a lie. And the women that tend to experiment the hardest with feminism, who love the word "I'm a feminist," who love to preach to you about girl power, always have deep-seated issues. And for a lot of these women, first time I heard this about Ariana Grande, first time I heard the story, I said, she obviously has daddy issues. It's abundantly clear that Ariana Grande has daddy issues. She likes to pursue men that are in stable relationships, and she likes to rip those relationships apart, which signals to me that obviously there is something that is plaguing her from her childhood. Women, or to-be women, rather, young girls, need strong father figures, or else they become a disaster in society. So yes, it turns out, I did a little prodding, that her father divorced her mother when she was just 8 years old, and then he left the family home. In her 2018 hit, Thank You Next, she sings a line that's, quote, "One day I'll walk down the aisle holding hands with my mama. I'll be thanking my dad because she grew from the drama." She also said once in an interview that, quote, "So much of me comes from my father, and for so long I didn't like that about myself. I had to accept that it's okay not to get along with somebody and to still love them." Now, her relationship with her father has been sporadic. She's said that they have gone periods without speaking to each other. I believe now he might be back in her life, but there is no question that she is broken from these earlier father issues.
Now, this is one of the points that she made that I want to hone in on. If it does not work out between you and the woman that you have a child or children with, it is still your duty to make sure that you are in the lives of these children. This is obviously not a ethnicity issue, right? It's an issue that goes across the board. There are plenty of white kids who have said that their father has abandoned them, right? And have grown up without that parent. Sometimes the father hasn't even abandoned them, has just paid more attention to whatever business they're into, whatever thing that takes the majority of their time, especially work wise, and has left the rearing of the child primarily to the mother. And because of that, somehow they became estranged. Especially in a case where you have left the household, it is your duty to make sure that you are there, regardless of whether it's a boy or a girl. It does not matter. As that parent, you have to step up and do what you have to do and be that father figure. Because letting some random guy from off the street take your place is not an option. Women act like men are replaceable. The fact is, we're not. It takes a special kind of guy to raise a child and raise them up the right way. It's not something everybody can do. It's obvious that all women can't even be good mothers. How much harder do you think it is for a guy who is not the father of these children to raise them up and do what's right by them? That's not an easy job. So if you are around, then yes, the onus is on you to do your due diligence as a parent and raise these children up the right way. Especially if you wanted them, then yeah, you absolutely have to step up and be there for them. Because this does become an issue, regardless of male or female. You see these people all over the internet completely lost and out of whack. And the first question I always ask myself is, yo, was this young boy or young woman's father in their life? And, you know, usually I don't know the answer, but I always lean towards like I don't think so. If there was, it wasn't a strong relationship. But anyway, let's move on some.
And what happens when people are hurt? They hurt other people. Now, of course, Ariana Grande is not going to stay with this man. And by the way, I want to make it clear, I'm not just attacking her. It's very clear that this man is at fault. It's obvious. Look at him. He's a dweeb, okay? This is the first time that a girl that he thinks is way above, he's boxing way above his weight class here. Oh my God, Ariana Grande, she's looking at me. And he has completely lost his mind because he's a weak man aside from being a dweeb. He's an incredibly weak man. And he allowed one girl to take a glance at him and he ruined his entire life. And not just his life, he's ruining the life of his child, his first child, as well as the life of a woman who has loved him for the last 10 years. So yeah, he is a dweeb and he is a loser. And because he is a weak man, he will of course not be able to keep Ariana Grande. Don't even think about it. These two are not going to skip off into the sunset. That's not what she does. Ariana Grande is a viper, right? The sports for her, the high for her is breaking up the relationship. She's not going to stay with him because he's already committed to divorcing his wife. So the game is over for her. She's a fake feminist. She likes feminism because feminism is a plaything for broken women, women that feel failed by men in some capacity and want to seek revenge. They are the ones that tell you that men ain't. But in reality, what we are facing today is a crisis of too many women that are acting like and Ariana Grande is among them. And that's all I have to say about that.
So that was Candace Owens. Now, as she said, this is not a one-off for Ariana Grande. She's supposed to be married. While all this is happening with, the SpongeBob SquarePants actor, she's supposed to be married. It has happened previously with Big Sean and others, where these people are in a relationship with somebody. Here comes Ariana Grande. I don't know what she's doing with these guys, if it's a mental mind bang or if it's a knob slob. I don't know what she's doing to them. Somehow they fall on the outs of the current girlfriend, and next thing you know, here they are dating her. That's just the reality. That's how it has went down. And here we are again. You would have thought, well, she's married, so maybe she'll settle down. Nope, apparently not. And this is where the influence part comes in. This person has what was it like? It was in the triple digits. I think like 300 and some odd million followers. Now, obviously, there's 8 point something billion people in the world, so it's not a crazy number, but it's still a lot of. That's like all of America, right? America's population is 300 and what 80 million. So like basically the whole like a whole big country like America, worth of people is following. That kind of influence for this person to have. You know how many young women are most likely being led astray by this kind of behavior? Like the God is a Woman song was bad enough, right? That's like, for me, right? Being the kind of man that I am. That for me, like, that's already the tip of the iceberg. Right now, you might say, well, she made the song for, the studio. Probably she didn't write it. Might make a bunch of excuses as a simp on her behalf. And okay, granted, fine. Maybe that is so. What about the relationships, though? Was she pushed into those relationships by the studio in Hollywood? Is that what we're saying? Or is that just her? Right? Because it is evident there's a lot of women out there that's like that. Even when they're married, they're still out there looking, they're getting into relationships, they're breaking up other people's relationships, right? The woman who sent her brother after the guy, one of the brother's friends got killed. She was married at the time she was messing around with this guy. Right? So it's evident this thing happens in everyday life. It is happening. But these are the people that are being put in front of us as a standard. And they shouldn't be. These are the worst, absolute worst people to be a standard. And I hope people remember that. Anyway, I think I've went on long enough about Ariana Grande. She is not somebody for people to be looking up to. She's just another person, another pawn in the system. And, at the end of the day, it is what it is. As an adult, you have to take responsibility for your actions. But then again, if you have these people influencing our youth from the time that they're young, then the chances of them, making these bad decisions as they get older, especially without the father being around, well, I'd say the chances are better than average. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.